Hello, my name's Anna and I'm a middle-aged lady living in London, England, and I decided to do a video of my collection of horses. I've seen other people do that on YouTube, and so I'm adding mine to those. Now, I've always called them Breyers, but I do acknowledge that in the States they're called Breyers and Breyer Fest, so I'll have to get used to that. Well, I've just come back actually from the 2017 Breyer Fest in Lexington. I do wonder if I'm the only person from England to have gone specifically from that for that. Anyway, I enjoyed it very much. It was wonderful to have a big selection of horses to choose from. I'll show you some of the ones I bought back. Now, these two here have got pride of place because these are the ones that I carried through on the plane in person. In my longest conga, I've learnt this terminology from other people's videos, is this Big Ben mould. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I couldn't resist this wonderful Palomino version. I think it's called Nautical. So that one was quite expensive. I bought that straight away when I turned up and sort of was in my initial buying frenzy. And then, although I don't normally buy sort of non-natural colours, I fell in love with this beautiful blue, or Wedgwood blue, and because it's Lexington and there's all the thing about the bluegrass horse, those two are sort of quite special. Then I also bought this one. I love this mould with Prince Jester Maverick. There's a Palomino version there, and I saw this grey, which I didn't even know existed. So this was bought at the that hotel that's associated with Breyer Fest, the Clarion, and you really must go there. It's absolutely astonishing how many horses, the traders there are there. It was an amazing experience. Also, I bought, this was a special run, which I hadn't really registered what all that was about, but I joined the queues in the heat, and it was my opportunity to buy this. I didn't like it initially from the picture, but I do think it's quite nice. So it's that one. And I bought some sort of cheaper ones. I bought 6 home in my suitcase. This mould I haven't got. Various, I suppose I quite like Spotty and Appaloosa ones. This was an old Appaloosa. It's just amazing to find these big, huge sort of bins of used horses and just browse through them. In the UK, they're so difficult to find. Well, you see the new ones in a few places, and the rest I've only got from eBay. This was Nasruddin, the free model from Breyer Fest. So I really enjoyed the Kentucky Horse Park, and I even went riding, and it was a fantastic week away. So the Big Ben mould is one of my favourites. I also love this National Show horse. I think this is stunning, this black, brown and white one. That's one of my favourites, and Madison Avenue. And also, I've always liked this beautiful Esprit mould. I'm sure that's many people's favourite. I went to a talk about collecting. It was very interesting, and she was saying about how there are some moulds that are much more popular than others. Now, this is one of my few custom ones. So this is a custom means that somebody else has sort of decorated it, so it's not off the production line. It's sort of supposedly unique. So that's a black Esprit. And the another custom one I bought early on is this cigar mould racehorse that's dapple grey. So if you look at the identify your Breyer website, you won't find a custom. And again, I got the impression that the real connoisseur collectors aren't keen on custom, but I think that's a very nice one, and they tend to be very expensive. And the custom one I've got that I really don't like, I like this mould, and this is like Garrett. In particular, I bought that one quite recently. I like him. I bought this strange custom. Seemed like a good idea at the time, but I mean, really, is there a horse with that sort of pattern? I sort of regret that one because it looks unrealistic. So, well, just briefly, there's some other ones I don't particularly like. I think the very first one I bought was probably this white one here. I bought Glorioso recently. Well, the people who other collectors will recognise all these various moulds, so I hardly need to say anything. American Saddlebred I liked. They enjoyed the museum at the Kentucky Horse Park. This is the Hitler horses, I call them. Don't stand very well, as I'm sure you'll know. And similarly, these ones here don't stand very. These are the moulds that don't stand. Need to be propped, but they're very nice. That's Flicker, Ben Cartwright's Buck, Far Lap. You see, that's the Sunny Girl, Rhapsody in Black. I'm quite obsessed. I know all their names. This is Snowman, Northern Dancer, some other old ones there. Rocky Mountain Horse. Those beautiful. Sorry, the light's not very good. Those beautiful mares I like in different colours. This one's I think I'm really obsessed by horse colours. This one's very beautiful, sort of unusual. Lindsay's Faith, a gorgeous sort of silver mane. Yeah, I don't collect. I only collect traditional. I want to resist. That's the final few. Old. Well, I don't particularly like that mould. So I don't collect classics. I don't want to go there. I want to stick to traditional. I don't like rearing ones. I don't like, with that blue exception, I don't like different colour, unnatural colours. And I don't like ones that are on stands, like the galloping ones that need a stand. I prefer ones that will stand on their own. I think I had 78 before I went to the States, and I bought back 8, so that's 86, too many really. And I'm very proud of this amazing white unit which I built myself to house them. So just briefly, a few other things in this room. You can see I've got lots of those little cups, and I discovered that I've got a collection of ducks. Down there's some collection of plastic bananas and eggs and apples and shells and tortoises and 3 things together. And in the rest of the room, if I turn around, you'll see I've got a few other collectibles. I've got a giant cuddly giraffe, and mainly my main collection is cuddly toys. So this is many years of collecting teddy bears, various other different animals and birds over there, monkeys on that one over there. And there's my old parrots, which shows how if I see something in 3 different colours, I have to buy them all. That's why I'm hooked on these horses. And that's my cuddly cats, lions and tigers and such like. And there's dinosaurs and fishy things like dolphins and seals and fish, all sorts of basically unusual animals and as realistic as possible. And this is those beautiful little birds that sing, my big tigers. The Kentucky Cardinal. I saw 5 when I was in Kentucky in a week. So an amazing red bird. And down here again, I sort of discovered that I've got a collection of boxes and tins, which I didn't quite realise there were so many. And my stone eggs, and that's just a selection. I do have quite a few sort of collectibles, nothing particularly valuable, but just things I enjoy buying from antique fairs. The cuddly dogs. When I went to Crofts, I bought these beautiful dog beds. My big sign that says Anna's Grotto, and my very old, long-standing costume brooches collection. These are very much out of fashion. Nobody wears brooches, and well, I certainly don't wear them, I just collect them. But basically these are my treasured possessions. There's the Breyer bulls. I haven't got anything else other than those bulls, but I thought they were rather gorgeous. So what else is in this room? Giant elephant, giant mammoth from Switzerland I bought quite recently. Some old, I started off years ago collecting China horses. There's a few there. This is a very precious horse from a family holiday in Pisa many years ago in Italy. Stone horse, I love that. And recently I've bought a few dragons. There's a nice big red dragon there. And this is my pile of cuddly, I think there's 18 tortoises and turtles. I always wanted to put them out in a pile. A few more odd collectibles. So thank you very much for looking at my horses with me and my display room. So I don't know if I'll ever go to Breyer Fest again, but as I say, I really loved it and I'm very hooked. And I do enjoy looking at other people's collections. So we'll see what I buy next. Thank you very much and goodbye.